Well, here in Israel, the country is in the middle of national elections, and some are accusing a group called V15 of using American money and personnel to undermine the campaign of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Here's the report I filed on this controversy. This is the opening of another Victory 2015 or V15 Center, one of around 10 throughout Israel. It's a growing movement thanks to outside money and American political know-how. The goal? Influence Israel's upcoming election. V15 has opened up volunteer centers throughout the country. This is the latest opening, located in the heart of Jerusalem. Their mission? To unseat Netanyahu.
Our whole purpose is to go door by door and to call supporters and to call voters and to pledge people not to vote for Netanyahu in the coming elections.
Itamar Wiseman helped start V15 and picked up a willing supporter in One Voice, a U.S.-based organization.
We were approached by One Voice to give us a donation. We were so thrilled that successful businessmen want to invest in Israel's future.
One Voice also provided the services of Jeremy Bird, a field director in both of President Obama's winning White House runs.
I specifically met with Jeremy. He helped us try to think outside the box and how we could organize people here.
Wiseman credits Bird with bringing along his successful U.S. campaign strategies to Israel.
He gave us intellectual resources on how to organize people, like what should be the structure of volunteers, like a concept of having a regional field director, and we want to actually bring amazing concepts in the U.S. that are worked for a lot of parties. He's doing wonderful work with us.
I see this as a very serious negative matter. An organization, a non-profit, was especially established with foreign money, especially American money, to intervene in the elections.
Professor Eitan Gilboa is the director of the Center for International Communication at Bar Ilan University.
V15 argues that they are not affiliated in any way with a particular party and that they only represent an idea. Well, what is the idea? The idea is to remove the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu from power.
Current Israeli law prohibits large contributions to political parties from foreign sources.
Now, this is like a trick, a maneuver to circumvent Israeli elections law, which I consider to be misleading the Israeli electorate.
U.S. Senator Ted Cruz and Representative Lee Zeldin are complaining about One Voice's involvement to the State Department because it has partnered with and given grants to the organization. Their letter reads, "There appears to be a danger that U.S. taxpayer funds are being used to directly shape the outcome of the upcoming Israeli election, and specifically the campaign against Prime Minister Netanyahu." The State Department denied any taxpayer money given to One Voice went to V15. Israel's Likud party has also filed a complaint against V15 to the Israeli Supreme Court. V15 argues the Likud also uses foreign money and consultants for their campaigns. Gilboa says there's a difference.
Those non-profits operating on the right, they get only private money and they operate around the year. V15, affiliated with the left, supporting the left, has been established just and primarily for the elections, and we don't know much about their sources of funding. It's not the same thing.
Current polls show a close race, and Israelis hope the outcome won't be engineered by foreign influence, especially from its closest ally. Well, joining me to talk more about the election campaign in Israel is CBN correspondent Julie Stahl. Julie, you know, in addition to the V15 controversy, what is some of the dynamics going on in the campaign right now?
Well, the main left-right divide is the left wing says, no, we're going to promote socioeconomic policies that Israelis they're upset about the economy, some of the social issues, and as opposed to on the right, Bibi, you know, and rightly so, is concerned about defense and security issues. So that's kind of the divide between right and left. Of course, both sides care about both things, but Bibi is really strong on the security and defense issues.
And the campaign is about 6 weeks away. How would you describe how things are going for the main parties?
Well, Likud seems to be gaining some ground in the last polls that we saw this week, and Benjamin Netanyahu would be moving up in the polls. The left is kind of stagnated a bit right now. It's one of the analysts that I spoke to in the last few days said, you know, the left may have kind of underestimated the whole idea of Bibi fatigue. That Benjamin Netanyahu has been prime minister on and off for more or less 9 years. And they think, you know, people think, well, we want to change, but there's nobody else really there. And the left thought they could just attack Bibi, and that would be enough for a campaign. But apparently, you know, it's kind of like when your family is attacked. Doesn't matter, you might complain about them from within, but if your family's attacked from the outside, you're going to stand up and defend them.
And one thing that's getting a little attention is a new ad that Bibi has put out called Babysitter as opposed to a babysitter. How are people reacting to that?
I think it was a brilliant idea. I mean, Bibi's trying to make himself the family man, and I think people think it's humorous. I don't think, no matter which side you're on, you couldn't say it wasn't clever. So I think it's quite a clever idea.
Yeah, it is. And finally, Julie, one of the controversies, both here in Israel and in the United States, is this invitation by the House Speaker John Boehner to Netanyahu to come and speak about Iran just a few weeks before the election. And it's got a lot of attention, a lot of pushback from the White House and Democrats. How do you think that's going to affect the outcome of the election?
I think here in the land it may not actually have a very big impact. There again, you know, the right is I think getting a bit tired of people attacking Bibi, whereas the left isn't really, it's not working now. Now people are starting to say, hey, show us what are you going to do for us if we take Bibi out and put you in. Right. So I'm not sure it's going to have a big impact on the elections here.
Yeah. Okay, Julie. Well, thanks for your analysis. We'll see what happens just a few weeks away. It's going to be a major thing here in Israel.
Yeah.